Believe Nation, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Wednesday's my project day. So I'm get to work on whatever I want to work on. I've been working on some AdWords stuff, teaching myself, working on some YouTube stuff, working on, I don't know, a whole bunch of ideas. This is my one day to work on whatever I want to work on, but this is my break. It's my break to go live with you guys, answer questions, try to bring value. So let's do it. Let's see what we can do. Let's bring in here he comes. My man.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I love it. Now you haven't posted much on Instagram.
No, I have not.
I went to your account, you have like 4 pictures or something up there.
Yes.
So part of my Movement Makers program, and we gotta make you the voice of a generation.
Yeah, I know. I've literally been going through your book a second time around, and I'm just like, okay, now is the time to pull the trigger and go for it a lot more. One of the things of why I wanted to get on the coaching call with you. So yeah, here we are.
All right. Well, what do you got? How can I help?
All right. So currently, right now, I identified my true why. I might get emotional in the midst of it because I just remembered it. But one of the things that my most painful moment that I had has been always being like shunned out or being silenced for my passion or being very expressive. Most of my friends who know me, they know that I'm very flamboyant, very expressive, very energetic. Sometimes people call me the Energizer Bunny. But when you look at when you look at my Instagram or any type of social media platform, it's like, okay, where's the Energizer Bunny? Where's the guy that speaks into that passion? And one of the reasons why I chose that why because it's a reoccurring thing where I feel that if I do get online, people will start to silence me or silence the energy that I do have. So that's like where I'm at right now.
Okay. Where does that come from though? Because that like somebody put that in you.
Where it comes from literally me being in middle school. Every single day, I would have to find a lunch table and sit by myself or find some hiding spot from the bullies who decided to think like, oh, it's a great day to pick on Trenton or whatever. And that's when anytime that I was like expressive or flamboyant, it will seem that's like gay or it seemed that's like, oh, he's not a normal dude. He's not a normal guy. And that's where I feel like it comes from, you know?
And so how did you get out of it? How did you deal with it through schooling?
One, I lost myself into the words of poetry a lot. The only way possible that I felt that I can get out of my own head is to put words on paper. That's one particular way.
So you're writing poetry, not reading it. You're like, oh, cool. Yeah. Okay, I got it.
So one of the things that from that point on, I started surrounding myself with, I think I was going into high school, and I started surrounding myself with people like Eric Thomas. There was this guy on a basketball team who always quoted Eric Thomas, and I was like, who are you quoting? So once I started surrounding myself with his videos and starting to get into this personal development space, saying like, oh, it doesn't have to be that way. You can be whoever you want to be. So that's particularly like how I got out of it, which just creating an environment around myself first and being like, hey, this is something that other people have been going through and you're not the only one. So like surround yourself with those type of people.
Yeah, dude, it's wild. That's before this is the first time we're connecting and before you came on, or it's like just as you came on and said you're gonna be the voice of a generation. This is it. You've been silencing yourself.
Yeah.
So the way through is to understand it's through service, right? It's like there's so many kids who are facing the same thing and they have nobody to look up to for hope or inspiration. There's a person who is flamboyant, who wants to express, doesn't know how to do it. Like you found poetry. Like what could have happened if you didn't find poetry?
I'll say I'll be lost still. To this day, I'll still be silent.
Or worse, right? I mean, like that spirals downwards quickly. If you take a creative energy and then you suppress all of their creativity, and don't let them do anything, like that can go negative sideways real quick. You just poured it into writing, but it could have been anything. You could have poured it into making videos or video gaming or anything, but you poured it into poetry. There's lots of kids who never find that avenue. Like, you made it out, even though you're not done. You're still climbing and going on your journey, right? Like the Instagram is the next version of it.
Yeah.
But you're way better off.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Than in middle school, high school, right?
Yeah.
Confidence, self-love, self-respect, all of it.
Yeah.
And so finding poetry helped you, but a lot of people never find that thing. And so in you, they could see the path. They could see, oh, this guy is the same as me, just 10 years older, 5 years older, 7 years older, or whatever. And he got out of it, so maybe there's hope for me too. And like, that hope is the only thing that they need to start the path, right? Yeah. The hope then leads them to find personal development and Eric Thomas and whoever, right? Yeah. Just that they're not the only one who's this crazy flamboyant person. Yeah. There's some inspiration. So people will try to silence you. Yeah. I mean, this is part of the game. Yeah. But a couple things on that. Like, one, it's very usually not personal. Like, the people who are trying to silence you aren't the people who are your crew, right? It's like, it's not your mom coming in and saying, hey, you suck, don't post this. At least I hope so. And now you've probably learned to surround yourself with better people and people on a path and growth, and the people who know you aren't the ones coming at you. It's the people who don't know you, who've never seen you before, who are coming at you. And those people, like, think about it. They're coming at you, and the highlight of their day is coming to your Instagram and laughing at your poem. Their life sucks. Like, if that's the highlight of somebody's day, they're going through a lot of pain themselves. And they're just projecting it onto you because they don't know how to deal with it. Yeah. And how you deal with the haters actually becomes inspiration. Like, this is what I think of. If you're posting your poetry and you're worried that somebody's going to judge your poetry, like, have you ever posted it, or you just kept it to yourself?
I posted on Facebook, but like, that was like years ago. But like, Facebook keeps all the memories, you know. So.
And are you still writing?
I write here and there. I do most of my, like coaching or like helping people in relationships and that type of stuff. That's where I transition from poetry into like just the speaking up a lot more and helping people to find their voice and find their passion in just being themselves and being authentic. So
you doing one-on-one sessions or what? What do you?
I haven't done one-on-one sessions, but like, well, not officially, but like the people who I surround myself in my circle, even some of my friends who may jump on, literally, they come to me because they see that I'm being my true self and they want to know more about how to be that. And oftentimes it comes into offline conversations. So like, it's not a conversation that we're having via Instagram, but it's like on the phone call or FaceTime or anything of that sort. Sorry, it's getting loud outside. But like, those are some of the things that I kind of been doing over the course of, like, I'm 25 now. So over the course of from like 16 all the way to 25, that's what I've been like constantly doing. And like, I never like decided to try to get paid for it, but it's just like something that I love to help people with because I was there, you know, I was that person.
And if you get paid for it, then you can build a business and then you can help more people.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where we're at right now. That's where, that's where the trigger is being pulled at right now.
So if somebody's coming and leaving some hate, like if you're going to post your thoughts on something and somebody's going to come and dish out hate, how you respond to that hate actually becomes educational to your community. Like, I play League of Legends a lot. I don't know if, well, maybe a lot. I'm trying to get to gold this season. So my coach has me playing 3 games a day. And I don't know if you ever played League, but the video game community is like, can be super toxic, right? Bunch of kids hate their lives, you know, showing up and something goes wrong and like they're already on tilt. My default response to somebody who's throwing hate is sending you love, man. Yeah. Sending you love, man. And The goal isn't even to switch that person. Like the goal for you, if you posted a video on your Instagram with a thought that you have or a coaching session or something, and somebody's throwing shade at you, your goal isn't even to necessarily change them in that moment. Sometimes it happens. I've had people come back to me the next day and say, hey, I was really negative yesterday. I was going through something rough and I took it out on you and I apologize, right? Like that happens constantly, but it's not even the goal. The goal is for everybody else who sees that negative comment and then the response, how you respond to the hate becomes an inspiration to other people because they don't know how to deal with it. Like they're thinking, oh, I want to post something like him, but I'm afraid of the negativity. Now you're showing how you deal with the negativity by sending love back.
Got you.
Right? So something as simple as sending you love, man, or your version of it, you know, you write a line of a poem or, you know, something. To have empathy for them, because this person who's throwing hate at you hates themselves, and just understanding that removes the sting from the words that they're saying. Right? It's like, I use the analogy of a baby. Like you expect a baby to poop their pants. That's basically what they're doing. Like you expect it. You expect somebody who's in a really negative spot. Like it's really hard. You can't expect people who are in a really negative spot in their life right now to just shower people with love. Their baseline is negativity because not they're a bad human. They just have a lot of pain in their life right now. So I'd expect that for some people. It has nothing to do with you. It's them. So you expect the baby to poop their pants. I expect some people to come who are in a painful life and come take it out on you, even though it has nothing to do with you.
Got you.
It takes the sting away. Right?
I never thought about it like that. I love that analogy because it's like when you expect it from someone, it's like, can you really like say it's your fault? Because like, you know, that's where I feel like most of the time it comes into where I feel like most of the time when people are hating or try to silence me, it's like my fault as to why like I'm doing what I'm doing. It's like, it's so wrong, but it's not. It's like something that they're dealing with.
And listen, there may be something inside of the comment that you can learn from, but for the most part, you can't. For the most part, it's just negativity. But to the other side, if you can only handle feedback when it's sugar-coated and wrapped up into this nice special gift, is like, hey, I love everything you do, man. It's so great. But here's one little tiny suggestion that you might, like if that's the only way you can take feedback, then you're not going to grow. Somebody might be dishing tons of hate and doing it in a really negative way, but there's actually some kind of kernel of truth in there that you can learn from. You won't see it unless you've eliminated the pain of how it's delivered. Right? But most of the comments won't be. Most of the comments are not super deep or super insightful or super thought out. They're just negative. You know, we did a video on Floyd Mayweather. I was just looking at my comments just before coming on here, and Floyd. Somebody left a comment on the Floyd Mayweather video just trashing Floyd. Right? It's like, well, like, then don't watch the video. Like, if you don't like Floyd, you get high by coming to this video just to trash Floyd and watch. Like, what's the point? I don't get it. Right? It's like pain. They're in pain. So it's not anything about me. It's not even against Floyd. It's about them. They're projecting. So creating from that perspective was one, like, it's a duty to serve. That somebody, some kid, some 16-year-old watching your video, that's going to be the inspiration to make them want to self-express and not be so afraid of being silenced. And then two, the people who are trying to cancel you or silence you are in a lot of pain right now. And you'll just keep you shining the light. You're going to shift more and more of these people towards positivity.
Got you. I love that. I guess because when I was prepping for this coaching call, I like try to come up with questions because I'm like, I watch your Instagram lives and I watch your Q&A. So like most of the questions, I'm like, all right, I got the answers. I even screen record them sometimes.
Okay.
So I think one of my follow-up questions is like picking out like the passion process in the book, right? So like figuring out like what are the things that you love doing, but also the process of doing it, right? I know that coaching and stuff is like something that I love to do. I do it. I consider my. I wake up and do it. I even like send positivity to my friends in the morning because not many people do that, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like I'm doing that part already.
yeah,
Now it's time to make the shift into like helping more people who don't know me because like
yeah.
my circle of friends is very very supportive of anything that I produce. So
Mhm.
it's like I have a good circle around me for support, right? Now I'm trying to make the shift into waking up a lot of people in the sense of creating your like you have a passion inside or you have something inside you that you've been wanting to do that you feel like you can do because there's no money involved, there's no guarantee that you'll be successful in some sense. um, and one of the things that I've realized, because I just finished off my master's degree, and I wanted to help more of my counterparts, my cohort members from my graduating class, to really not get stuck in the sense of you need to like get a job right away, but like now you have a lot of time on your hands to cultivate the skills that we've learned throughout our program to really hone in on those skills. So if you do go into the workforce, you have a skill set, not
Yeah, yeah.
just this like
Dude,
idea of
okay,
it.
listen, there's so much love that you have. You're
Yeah.
just playing it so safe and so small.
Okay.
You're only jumping in on people who you've already built some kind of relationship with and likely won't reject what you're saying.
Yeah.
Whereas your friends and cohorts like, dude, the world, America
Yeah.
needs the message. The mindset shift I'd like you to make is your Instagram audience is your cohort. So when you wake up and you send love to people in your circle, that's what you do on Instagram. Like
Okay.
send love.
Gotcha.
Make a morning video. Like whatever you would say to your best friend, to say, hey, I'm cheering you on, like thinking of you today. I hope you go off and crush it. I know it's tough. Like whatever, like what did you send to somebody this morning?
Um, Along the lines of like, hey, you have a job interview today. I really hope you crush it. Um, like go in there believing that you have the value because you already have the value and cultivated the value. Something along those lines.
So same thing, just swap out job interview with like, you got something big today. Hey, you got something big today. Go out and crush it. Believe in yourself. You can do it. And like you channel that person, and so it becomes authentic because sometimes it's hard to talk to a camera just
Yeah.
to the world, right? I mean, 300 million people have watched my videos. I don't even know what that means, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you quantify? But it's this. It's like, hey, here's one person in front of me, right? So you channel that person, and then just swap out anything specific,
Got you.
right? Like if somebody's going through a breakup, right? Like, hey, I know you're going through a tough time right now. I want you to know that you got something special inside you. You're going to get through this. Like whatever you would say,
Yeah.
you send a message to your friend, and then instantly, right after, make a video for Instagram with the same
Got you.
thing. Just so you're already feeling that person, because you're such a heart guy. You're a heart guy. But now, like Instagram and YouTube and like the world, America is your cohort.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. I love that. Yeah. It only takes some little people, a coach to believe in, you know? That's why I love the mission so much.
Yeah, you're playing so hard and so deep, but just small.
Yeah.
Like I bet all of your friends I bet when you touch somebody, they feel like the sun is shining on them in a way that's never shone before, and that they can go and you believe in people in a way that like their mom doesn't even believe in them. That's
Yeah.
you when you show up and help them,
Yeah.
but just with 25 people instead of millions.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, and that's the mindset shift that I had to make because I told my friend last night that's a July is the month of uncomfortableness. So most of like this right now, I normally don't do. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
get
yeah.
on live.
I know. I
So
saw your stuff.
yeah, so I'm already doing like this type of stuff. So like
Yeah,
now I'm stepping into more and more of being that being the person I am offline, but now taking it to the online presence and like really helping the people who may not have my like me as a friend, you know.
Yeah.
So that's where this month is like of growth is going
Okay, but
towards.
so let's step into that. Like if it's the month of uncomfortable,
Hmm.
the opposite of uncomfortable is comfortable, right?
Yeah,
And if you're comfortable, that means you're just doing the same thing every day, over and over and over again. Like if you're never uncomfortable, if you're just always comfortable, that means there's zero variety, zero progress, zero growth. You're just photocopying your life every day. You hate your life. Like anybody who's super comfortable hates their life because there's no growth, no development, no change. So, I mean, do you agree with that?
I totally agree. I'm actually I that's like some of the things that fear it frustrates me because like every single day it's the same thing. It's like
Yeah.
when people ask me like, "What is your plans for today?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, I'm doing it now. I'm doing the same thing." So it's like I need like new answers, new experiences, you know. So
So it's not just July. That's the month of uncomfortableness.
yeah,
It's the rest of your life
gotcha.
because that means you're growing and you're learning.
Yeah,
Like anytime you get that same thing for me. Like anytime I get too comfortable, I get upset and I get itchy. Like something has to change.
yeah,
So leaning into the discomfort, into the uncomfortable for life. This is now who you are. And then the more you do that, the more you train that muscle, and then the more you inspire others to do it too.
gotcha.
So it's like July is a great test, but then it's not just the 30 days of uncomfortable. It's
Yeah,
however many
it's like
days you got left. It's
yeah,
forever. And
yeah,
that's
exactly.
great, right? Um, yeah, I think the biggest practice for you is just looking at posting something, and when a negative comment comes, just trying to have empathy and forgiveness for that person. And how
Yeah,
do you respond? Like maybe you have to come back to it. Maybe you got to breathe or meditate or whatever, and you come back to it 10 minutes later before you respond.
gotcha.
Because the more you can actually have empathy and forgive the person who's trying to silence you, that's the only thing in the way of you spreading your heart across America as opposed to just 25 people next to you.
Gotcha. I love it. Love it. Love it. Well, I mean, that's all the questions that I had. Those
I'll,
are
I'll
two.
throw one more thing at you. How
Okay.
many people follow you on Instagram right now?
Currently 600
Okay,
right
you
now.
600. You got like 4 posts. How do you have 600 people following you?
Well, I mean, I did the big no that you told me not to do. I
Okay.
deleted everything. That shows like.
Oh, you had the
So yeah,
content.
yeah,
Dang. Okay.
yeah.
Got it. Anyway. Okay. So your homework, you got 3 things. One, um, the morning message, just like you do for your friend, you're gonna now change like 1 or 2 words up and give that morning message to your Instagram audience, just for practice. Don't worry about like the lighting and the sound and whatever. Like, however you do it exactly for your friend, instantly after you give it to Instagram. Um, 2, I love to see you do a coaching series.
Okay.
So you DM people in your 600 and you say, I'm starting a new show, ideally a daily show, but you could start off like once a week or a couple times a week, but hopefully get like this.
Yeah.
Where say, hey, can you come on tomorrow at 1 p.m. and whatever you need help with, I'm gonna be there for you, and let's talk it out. And you got 600 people. You know, a lot of people will say no or won't respond, but you only need like 14 people
One.
for the next 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So you'll get some people who will say yes, and then you get to work your magic, and in doing that, you start getting more experience as a coach, but also being uncomfortable because you're now coaching. Here you're being coached, but you'll be flipping it. You'll be coaching,
Yeah.
and people will be watching and maybe judging and maybe agreeing or disagreeing. But this is how you start building up your brand. So a regular show of you actually coaching the people in your audience. At some point, it'll just take over. Like if you
Yeah.
didn't come in here, there's other people who want to join in and say, hey, pick me, pick me, pick me, help me.
Yeah.
So at some point, you won't even need to book people. They'll just show up.
Got you.
So that's number 2. So 1 is the daily message. 2 is the coaching, at least once a week, but ideally daily. And then 3 is the practice of forgiveness and empathy towards the people who quote unquote try to silence you. That when a comment comes in, it's gonna. This is a muscle. Like your muscle isn't very strong in this right now. So when somebody says that's the stupidest thing I ever heard, this guy's whacked. that's going to hurt. So you sit with it. Don't respond. Just take 10 minutes, breathe, forgiveness, try to imagine this person in their life, and then come back and respond. And just that practice will get to where it's automatic. So that it's not, you don't need the 10 minutes in between and breathe and everything. Just, you got to build up that muscle, because that's the only thing preventing you from actually going really big. And you got a duty to, like, the number of people who have been bullied and feel silenced and never find a way out. You're their hope, man. You're their inspiration. You can teach them.
Yeah.
You got to stop being selfish. Playing small like this, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing that my mom always say. Stop playing so small, cause when you hear the passion in me, it's like it's authentic. It's not.
It radiates, dude. It radiates. Yeah. It radiates. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
For other people, that's really tough. Like, this part is easy for you. This part is easy for you. The connection, the messaging, and the care is easy for you. The dealing with you're strong on that. You've been doing that for a bit.
Yeah.
The dealing with the negativity and the hate and the forgiveness and the empathy, that's where you're weak. But it's fine. You build up that muscle, and then you become unstoppable, man.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, this has been the best 25 minutes of clarity that I've had.
I love it, dude.
Action steps. I'll see you tomorrow.
Cool, man.
Movie Makers. Everyone, please go to Movie Makers. It's the best thing ever. I swear it is.
I love it. Thank you, man. We'll see you soon.
All right, see you.
Cheers. Peace.